You're watching Taste the Victory.
Hey everyone, today we are joined by special guest Hayes, who is a friend of the channel, has quite a number of profiles on here now, and that is because he's possibly the most consistent Mastemon player in the entire world, got in multiple top finishes at regionals, and is joining us today to show us his Booster Set 11 Mastemon list. Hayes, you want to go ahead and take it over and let us know how you were putting together this list?
Yep, so this is a pretty, this is an updated list for BT11, and to start with the eggs, it's 4 DemiMeramon, 1 Nyaromon. I was running more Nyaromons before, but Ignitemon is basically a better Gatomon, so it makes Nyaromon harder to activate, so we're going with DemiMeramon for this format. And speaking of Ignitemon, that's the first card we'll go through. It's one of the newest additions to the deck. It is a very strong rookie that lets you so it has a main ability of when attacking to delete one of your Digimon and then delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with level less than or equal to. So this has applications for popping big stack that you might struggle to otherwise. But the main reason we play it is for the all turns once per turn. When you play Digimon by effect, gain 1 memory. During your combo, you're able to if you have this underneath your Gatomon, you're able to activate it twice because of the DNA resetting your inherit. And note that this is all turns, so it also activates if your opponent checks a Hellscythe in your security and you play a Digimon out, and so you'll be able to gain memory on your opponent's turn. Gazimon and Psychemon, these are the floodgates that are ever present in our deck, because part of it, you're kind of trying to stop your opponent from being able to play the game. You can switch the ratio of Gazi and Psych depending on what you're going to see more. Gazi is better into Grandis and Bloomlord. Psychemon is really strong into a Crossheart. We'll play one of the new Devimon. This card, so when you have a yellow Digimon or a yellow Tamer in play, it gains Rush and Retaliation. And so because of Mirei being a new addition to the deck, you're able to play more level 4s than you used to, because you're not reliant on seeing the Gatomon, the DNA. And Devimon kind of replaces the Black Gato role, which lets you rush per game, but I think it's a little bit better because it is 2 to evolve and also has better typing, which is Fallen Angel. So, and you have a lot of effects that interact with with Archangel, Fallen Angel, and Angel. And then next up is the Digiburst Devimon. This is a really old card from BT4. The reason you play this is in BT11 there's going to be a lot of Grandis, and Grandis likes to run this really pesky floodgate called Pomumon. And Pomumon stops you from playing your effects, playing Digimon by effects. So this is the easiest way to get rid of Pomumon. All you have to do is promote your stack, Digiburst 2, and then you can just go about your day. Forgato is self-explanatory. It's always in the deck. It's quite possibly the best card in the deck. 3 of the new Lady Devi. So this is actually better than the older one. Because it essentially has like a mini calling effect, calling from darkness effect on its when Digivolve. So you're able to return Mirei, Angel, or Archangel or Fallen Angel. And the other effect of it is a little bit more, and then the other effect is when you play Angewomon or Mirei, gain 1 memory. So you'll gain the memory off of Angewomon, playing Angewomon like pretty much all the time, but the Mirei one is a bit more niche. And then the Inherit is the main reason why you want to run this at more copies. The Retaliation is absolutely huge, because in tandem with the new Angewomon, you're able to create a board full of Retaliation blockers, and that has extremely strong into Grandis, extremely strong into Metal Guru. You still want to run some of the older Lady Devi just because it gives you draw 2, trash 2, so you'll be able to unbrick, and then the inherit still comes up. And also, not to mention, it helps you set up your trash to go into Creepymon. 2 Lucemon, pretty standard. And then 1 Magna. We used to play a lot more Magna because we would slam our level 5's DNA. With the addition of Mirei, that will be... You'll still have to do it, like, maybe half the time, but you want to have your yellows be mostly Angewomon in name, so that you're able to play them for free. And so Magna it still has a use because you're able to recycle it with the Hellscythe, and you're able to grab it back with the LadyDevi, but essentially you're able to play this off the Mastemon, get that recovery, and have it be a retaliation blocker. So its role is a little bit different. You won't be using it to DNA as much anymore. And then the new Angewomon, this Angewomon is really great. It gives you a lot more consistency because before, when you only had Angewomon, it might be a little stuck because it doesn't really get you any cards. This one lets you look at your security, which is really good, and then grab a card and then recover. And then it has the same secondary effect as LadyDevi. And then the blocker, really strong, make retaliation blockers. The old Angewomon still really good. Good Hellscythe target, good target to play off the Mastemon. Sometimes you'll still play this off the Mirei, and then the security attack +1 comes up. And then we have Ophanimon. So Ophanimon is actually, I think, a lot better in BT11 than it was before because it's also a I think fallen angel, and so it inherits the retaliation and the blocker from your LadyDevi and Angewomon. And it's also like a lot more recurable because of the LadyDevi, and you can search it off the Angewomon, so it's just super synergistic with the deck. Into like a deck like Grandis, if you set up an Ophanimon with a LadyDevi with retaliation underneath, they'll really struggle to be able to clear your security and clear your board at the same time. For Mastemon, you still need to play 4. If you run left, it's technically okay because you have the LadyDevi, which lets you grab back Mastemon, but you are risking not seeing it for the first time. Ordinemon is really interesting for this format because Mirei allows you to DNA without passing turn, which allows you to create 2 level 6 stacks with a fair amount of ease, which lets you Ordinemon to clear large boards or double pop certain stacks like Black Ordinemon, combined with Lucemon, and it's really great into Bloomlord. It's really great into Jesmon, and sometimes you'll just be using it to get that last swing for game as well. Calling, still super good. Mem Boost, you need to run at least 3. 4 is also acceptable. You can also mix it up. You can also mix and match with like other consistency options like Mako or Analog Youth. And then 2 Hellscythe. We go down on Hellscythe because it's like a lot less impactful in BT11 just because of you're running less Magnas and things don't care about Hellscythe as much. Like Blackboard Greymon, if they hit Hellscythe in security, they'll just simply restand and then pop the body you played off the Hellscythe. So it still comes up into certain matchups like Metal Guru, and it's really good in the mirror, so you still want to run some of it. And then Degrade is the better option in this format. It's better into Grandis, it's better into Black or Gray. And then Mirei is like the star of this. She is a 5 cost, and then at the start of your turn you gain a memory. And then the effect is very strong. And essentially, when you digivolve into Angewomon or LadyDevimon, if you have 1 or less Digimon in play, by spending this Tamer, you can play 1 Angewomon or LadyDevimon from your hand with a different name from the Digimon that digivolved without paying its cost. So let's say you move up Gatomon, you digivolve for 1 on top of that. Let's say into the new LadyDevi, discard whatever you want to discard, maybe a Lucemon, and then like grab back a piece that you need, and then you'll suspend the Mirei. Mirei's effect will then play Angewomon. So then the LadyDevi will gain you a memory because you played an Angewomon, and if you had an Ignitemon, you'll gain another memory from the Ignitemon. And so you've gained maybe 1 or 2 memory and played a level 5 for free. And then if after your DNA and you have an Ignitemon as well, you'll gain another memory because of the DNA resets. So whenever you the downside of this tamer is that it costs a lot. It's 5 to play. But when you resolve this tamer, you might just be winning the game on the spot, just because of how significant that that memory swing is. You're playing a 7 cost level 5 for free, and it also gives you a consistent source of memory whenever you play it, and is a purple and yellow for your options. And then we got TK, which is a consistency tamer. Don't be afraid of TK. It'll help you more than it'll kill you. So, let's say your hand is 4 cards that you can't really do anything with, and 1 TK. And you play that TK, you find a Gato. Now you're suddenly in the game. If that was a Kari, you're still out of it. You can't cycle. So that's why TK is always better. In a bricky deck like Mastemon, TK is just the best memory tamer you can get. Couple things of note, I would say, is that your Blackboard Greymon matchup is pretty abysmal because 2 of their level 5s kill your level 6 stack, and they blow up your tamers.
Yeah, that sounds like a very miserable matchup for this deck with how much it relies on Mirei. What would you say are the good matchups for this deck in this format?
So, you actually have quite a few good matchups aside from Black. I'd say that the main reason you want to play this is if you anticipate people trying to counter Blackboard Gray, because it's good into the main deck that people will be playing to counter Blackboard Gray, which is Grandis. I think Mastemon has a really excellent matchup into Grandis. As long as they don't hit the nuts turn 3 and just OTK you before you find your pieces. But even then, you have a good chance of surviving because of your security bombs. It's really strong into Grandis because of your ability to make retaliation blockers. So it makes your board incredibly difficult for Grandis to remove. There's certain setups that, unless they're running the blue version with Megadeth, that they can't out at all. So if you make a Mastemon with retaliation blocker source inherits, and then 2 more angels, that'll make it so that even if they have Okua X Grandis, Gankuago Grandis, they can't touch you without losing their stack. So
yeah, that's really funny.
And it's also pretty solid into Metal Guru. I'd say that one's a little bit closer just because of how fast Metal Guru can be, but I'd say the matchup is still, I'd say, slightly in Mastemon's favor if you're comfortable with it, because it's the same thing. The retaliation blockers actually are a huge issue for Metal Guru as well, and you're able to clear their stack with relative ease. If you're worried about security control, all you have to do is swap one of the Ophanis out for Creepymon, and then you will be able to beat security control. Just play for a mill out. Crossheart is really close. It's super 50-50. If you anticipate a lot of Crossheart, I would bump the Psychemon up and maybe switch one of the Ophanis to a Minerva. So I'd say the second Ophani is a bit of a flex mega slot, so just play what you think you need. All Force. Yeah, All Force is pretty good for Maste. You're able to force their evade and then just swing over them, so it's pretty good.
That's awesome. Yeah, this deck definitely sounds like it's really good into the meta if it just wasn't for Black Warg. So, if you're anticipating to not see it, or you're anticipating to see a bunch of counters, it's a really good call. I like that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Hayes. This was super insightful from a really experienced Mastemon player. I really appreciate you coming on the channel again to give us your insight for Booster Set 11. If there's anything you'd like to leave us with before we sign off, go ahead and feel free to.
I guess it would be that there's a bunch of flex options in here. So this list is relatively baseline, but it's actually quite close to my actual list. Maybe a 3-card difference, just because of what I'm expecting. but I wanted to bring like a more generalized list so people could customize it to their liking. So just just tweak it and see what works.
Awesome. Well, that was really great. Appreciate you coming on again, Hayes. We'll see you guys next time. And until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.